Going on, Zeno here. I was the creme de la creme of self-sabotage. For over 25 years, I indulged in this activity. And I want to let you know, if this is something that has been plaguing you, today it's coming to an end. No more of this behavior. And all of that destructive activity and procrastination, because I suffered from this, right, for over 25 years, and I was the king. Nobody was going to beat me. I was the creme de la creme of self-sabotage. When these things came into my life, even though I wanted them so bad, for over 25 years, I made sure even if they came into my life, I was going to get rid of them. And I want to let you know that this activity is actually a very subconscious activity. Your subconscious is actually deciding what is going to come into your life, what you're actually going to accept. So what we're going to do is we're not going to focus on self-sabotage, procrastination, and looking at how to change this. We're going to go back to the root. And I want to show you the truth of your being and how you can finally let go of this activity and start transforming your life, creating the most amazing experiences, stepping into your potential, living the life that you've always wanted to experience starting right now. Because the causes of everything, every action, all of the self-sabotaging, the procrastinating, right? Running around in circles is because of who we perceive ourselves to be, our identity, our self-concept. And if your inner narrative, and I had to work this out after so many years, if your inner narrative, the way you're speaking to yourself, your ideas, assumptions about life, about your own self-worth, what we are actually feeding our subconscious every single day, if that does not match what you want to be experiencing in life, financial abundance, incredible health, physically at your best, amazing relationships, if that does not match what you want to be experiencing in the outside world, that is why we self-sabotage. And I always thought if I could change my life, if I could move away from self-sabotaging, if I could shift things around, I would finally transform my life. But we're going to do something different today. We're going to go back to the root and pull out the weeds so you can start moving down that path, the one of your choice, and allow life to become something spectacular. Because what we actually are is not a story. We are not ideas, assumptions, and beliefs. We are not a story and narrative. We are not our past, our future. What you actually are is consciousness. And from 3 years of age, you go from being completely immersed in the present moment, unaware of yourself as something, to becoming self-aware. And from that point onwards, every idea, every assumption, every belief, everything can now be piled on top. And that begins the process of building your paradigm, your matrix, how you see yourself, your concept of self. The programming begins. And if that program and what you add on to yourself unconsciously, because as children, right, we adopt everything, every belief, every idea, every experience, what our parents are telling us, our culture, all of it, without question. We have no choice. We absorb it, and that builds our paradigm, our self-worth, everything. But you are actually none of this. And you can today pull out the root of all of these issues in your self-sabotaging ways. Transform your life starting right now by recognizing that you are consciousness, and you can choose from today onwards to pull out the root and step into something right now that is your conscious design, no longer living through an unconscious story, a narrative of your past ideas, beliefs, assumptions, negative experiences that were just given to you, that you absorb without question. Because what you are space, you are consciousness, and where you place your attention, who you embody, you can decide that from today onwards to do that consciously. And the way you shift your concept of self in order for you to experience the most amazing life for yourself, uncover your unique abilities, tap into your potential, find real peace and joy in life, is what we feed our subconscious, your concept of self. It has to be in alignment with what you are looking for. And as soon as it is, as soon as this becomes a natural process for you, everything shifts in your life because your subconscious is running the show. It is calling the shots. And so that is why trying to change things around, move things in and out, shift your habits. And I tried that for so many years. It doesn't work. Because unless that inner story and how you are perceiving yourself, how you're speaking to yourself, how you feel about yourself, everything that we are feeding into our subconscious every single day, if that does not match the life you want to be experiencing, forget about it. But as soon as you do this, as soon as you recognize your power, do you know what's going to happen? Suddenly, everything you're looking for in life and all those experiences and what you want to create becomes effortless. It starts to flow into your life with ease because your subconscious is now saying, this is who you are. Because how you perceive yourself on the inside, how you speak to yourself, what you give to the subconscious with feeling, with knowing, with assumption every single day, that is what you attract. That becomes your reality. That becomes your experience. So the most amazing news is, not only can you let go of self-sabotaging right now and starting on this process, but what needs to happen and what needs to come into your life and the circumstances and the people and all these things for you to create this amazing life for yourself, it will be shown to you. You will suddenly start to realize, experience, and see a brand new reality because your subconscious is running the show. What you feed to it every single day, that is what will be expressed. That is what you attract. That is what you see. That is your energy. That is the energy you're emitting into the universe, into life. And so you will come into contact with everything that you need to now experience that reality in the 3D. This is how it works. And the way you shift your concept of self is not by robotic affirmations, trying to tell yourself a story, gaslighting yourself. Your subconscious, limitless intelligence loves assumption, feeling, conviction. That is what it absorbs more than anything else. And so I invite you today, maybe for the first time in your life, to let go of this old shell, this old story, this narrative that has been keeping you locked in your cage, limitation and fear in your past, this story that was given to you. It was never meant for you. You are something far grander than a couple of ideas. Free yourself from this paradigm, and all you need to do from now on is live one day at a time as a brand new version. Forget everything that has happened. Just start practicing this. Start practicing feeling and knowing yourself to already be that which you are looking for. And how does this person look? How does this person feel? You can be anybody right now. You can be consciously aware of absolutely anybody. And that is where your imagination comes into play. This gift, this incredible gift we've been given. And I imagine myself to be somebody that is lacking, unworthy, living in my past, dragging my past into the present moment every single day, validating myself by the outside world, by my circumstances, not realizing that who I have perceived myself to be for all of those years, what I was giving to my subconscious every single day of every month, of every year, that was my harvest. That was everything. And so when we look at our circumstances, we are actually validating who we have been, how we've been perceiving ourselves for all of this time. And so the cycle will keep going on, and you'll continue to self-sabotage, because whatever does not fit your inner narrative, how you see yourself, what you give to your subconscious every day, whatever does not fit that picture, you will be uncomfortable with. Your subconscious mind will reject it. And that is why we self-sabotage, because we do not see ourselves as worthy, as already being that which we seek. And as you lay this story down and you step out of this shell, out of this cage, one day at a time, Start painting this picture in your mind. What does that dream life of yours look like and who is living it? And from now on, you start feeling and knowing yourself to be that version one day at a time. Every single day, see yourself as a brand new person. You know what? We only have so much time. There are only so many months and years left. Move away from fear and judgment and worry and thinking about when things are going to happen. Everything will start happening all at once when you become it, when you be it, when you see yourself as that, when you start speaking to yourself as that. What does your inner narrative at the moment tell you? Now go all in, one day at a time, and start stacking that. Give yourself everything first. Feeling and knowing conviction. Say to yourself, as soon as you get up in the morning, thank you for this incredible life. Thank you that everything has worked out perfectly. Remember, you are that person now. You already are that version of yourself that already has everything, is everything, looking and feeling amazing, right? You already are that. That is the picture that you start painting internally and start giving to your subconscious every single day. Move away from validating yourself from outside your social surroundings. What happened last week? You have this power. You are the creative process that creates everything into existence. And I never understood that, you know. I worked so hard and I used willpower and wanting and striving and planning. And do you know what I got after 25 years? More self-sabotage than you could possibly imagine. Remember, I'm the king. I was the king of this. Delusion, frustration, still desiring, terrible habits. You are consciousness. Start creating an amazing version of yourself internally. Start living one day at a time. That's where you put all of your focus, all of your energy of already being that. Already being what you are looking for, feeling and knowing yourself to be there. Remember, your subconscious loves feeling. How do you feel right now being incredibly abundant, wealthy, incredibly healthy, amazing relationships? You are the end result. Live one day at a time and step into your highest. And how do you speak? How do you see yourself? What are the daily actions that are in alignment with that version? And start living one day at a time. And stop fearing, stop worrying, stop thinking about how everything is going to happen. Your subconscious will guide you, I guarantee you. If you start painting the right picture and give it to yourself, give it to the subconscious, Christ consciousness, limitless intelligence. 1,000 books have been written about this, seminars, test studies, courses. The results is always the same. The subconscious is calling the shots. It decides how you act, your energy, what comes into your life, even your daily habits to a large degree. And start living as your highest, just one day at a time. Who is this person? Who are you going to step into? You are this creative process, and now allow that to be the vehicle to create all these things into your life, and you will dissolve, eliminate, leave self-sabotaging in your wake, I guarantee you. Because once these things start coming into your life, what you've been looking for, seeing yourself as, already embodying, saying, this is who I am. This is who I am. Proclaim it to life, the universe, Christ consciousness. From now on, this is who I am. Thank you so much. When these things start coming into your life, financial abundance, right? Incredible health. You're training every day. You're doing all these things suddenly in alignment with who you've been perceiving yourself now. When these things come into your life and suddenly your life is transforming, you will no longer self-sabotage because you've already been it. You've already been it for so long now. This is who you are. You're no longer going to be rejecting it. It's normal for you to be like that. It's normal for you to live in abundance, to be wealthy, to be healthy, to have this amazing business, whatever it is. The sooner this state becomes natural, the sooner your life becomes effortless. From striving and wanting and working so hard and having none of it, and even self-sabotaging when these things come into your life. That time is over. Step into your new version that is going to allow you to create everything into existence. I'm wishing you a fantastic day. Please comment, I'll respond if you'd like to work with me one-on-one. Link is in the description. I love you guys. Peace. Till next time.